Hi everyone. This is Sai from LetsUpgrade. So let's talk about how to get your certificate. It's very simple. You will see two links in the description. Number one is the place where you have to go and mark your attendance. Marking your attendance tells us like, okay, you are a legit student who have attended this particular session. Link number two is your assignment. This is where your 90% of the priority is. You have to go and submit the assignment that is given to you in this particular session. Once you're done submitting that assignment, we will be evaluating that. We will send you an email. If you get the passing criteria, then only we will give you the certificate on a particular date that is mentioned again in the description. Please check these three things, and this is the way how you will get a certificate from Let's Upgrade. Number one, mark your attendance. Number two, just go ahead and upload your assignment. Check for the email that you have received it, yes or no. What is the feedback that you have received from your trainer? Number three, check on which date the certificates will be released. Thank you. Bye. All the best. Happy learning.
Hey guys, welcome back to the session on modern JavaScript. So today would be the session 2 on the modern JavaScript. So until last session we had learned about the basics of JavaScript and like how we declare variables and about the conditional statements, if else, then for loops and all these things we have covered till the last session. Okay, so this was the code that we were handling till the last session. So in this session, in today's session, we'll be covering. Just a second. Okay, so in today's session, we'll be covering about how to make your website interactive using JavaScript. So like we'll be actually interacting with the DOM. So DOM is nothing but the actual website that you have. So let me quickly open that. So this is our So this is our web page. So we'll be making it interactive using the DOM events that we have. Okay, so DOM is nothing but document object model that we have in JavaScript. Okay, so this entire page that you see is the part of a DOM. Okay, so we'll be writing some code that will help you to interact with this with the elements on this DOM. Okay, so this was the assignment that I gave you. I hope everyone has covered this. So now moving ahead, I'll comment out everything. I don't need anything now of this. Yes, I've commented out everything. So we'll start afresh. Okay. So from here, so very first thing that I need to tell you is how to access the elements on your DOM. So let's say you have this let's say mm, anything, this hello or this I said this heading on all, you want to access this. So what you will do, you will go to index.html and you'll see. So this is your div that is about div that is there, right? About me hyphen text. Okay, so we'll be working on this. Like we need to access this particular div using our script, JavaScript. So how we can do that? So let's do one thing quickly. Let's create. Okay, so there is one thing which is known as document dot get element by id. Just okay, so get element by id is there, then get element by class name is there, get element by name, tag name, all these things are there. Okay, so we will be using get element by id. Okay, so we have this class over here. Let's say I just want to change the color of this particular line. I am Rahi Satnar. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll give id over here. Id is equal to let's say my name. Okay, any id I can give. I gave it my name. Okay, so I'll go over here, get element by id, my name. Okay, so I'll put it in let let my name is equal to document dot get element by id. Okay, and for before like doing anything, I would just like to show you how it would look. So my name, if I log it, I'll just save this file. Okay, now coming back, I'll refresh this page and inspect. So in the console, uh, okay, so in the console I'm able to see null. Why null? Because get element by id dot inner HTML or inner text. That is what I need to access. Okay, so dot inner text. Let's refresh it. 1 minute. Something is going wrong. Okay. So this, if I try to run over here, it will give me an error, cannot read properties of null reading inner text. Okay, so why this is happening? Because like it is trying to access this particular element from the DOM before it is fully loaded. Okay, so how do we fix this? So actually, like, we need to create a function. So for that we need to add an event listener. So document dot add event listener. So add event listener is nothing but it's an event listener and like keeps on checking like what events have completed. So DOM content loaded. So when the DOM content has loaded, then we need to run this particular function. So we'll create a function over here, and simply inside that function we'll put all these things. So then what will happen? Firstly, this event listener will keep on listening. When the content will be loaded on the DOM, then only this particular piece of code will be executed, not before that. So now let's test it. So now if I inspect it and see the console, okay, so you are able to see I am Rahi Satner over here. So it is able to access the text inside this particular DOM element, right? I am Rahi Satner. Okay, so by using inner text we were able to access the content inside your element by the ID my name. So this was the ID my name and the text inside it we were able to access. Okay, so now let's say instead of logging we want to do something on it. So let's say I just want to change the style of this. So how I can do that? So document.getElement by ID my name dot style. So I want to change the style. Dot color, I want to change the font color. So I want to change it to let's say orange. Okay, so I can put it like this, and if I'll go and refresh, you see it has become orange, right? So again we did something not directly by adding it in the CSS, right? We did it using JavaScript. So this is dynamic. So why it is dynamic? Because you can put any other event listener, and whenever that event is carried out, then this particular function would be executed. Okay, so I'll show you for now, at least, like, try to understand how, like, the basic purpose of this is to show you how you are accessing a particular element. So the different ways to access the elements I'm going to show you over here. So one is by ID. So any element you can like give some ID and try to access it using document.getElement by ID. Okay, so other thing that we have is class. So we have a class selector also, but the only thing about class is it will select multiple elements with the same class name. So let's say, do we have multiple elements with the same class name over here? Yeah, the card, I see the card are the one which have the same class name. Okay, so what I'm going to do is now, so I'm simply let cards is equal to document dot get elements by class name. So you see the difference here. It was element, a single element was getting selected, but here it is elements. So it will select multiple elements with the same class name. It's class name, not ID. Here we were selecting by ID, here we are selecting by class name. So for class name we cannot select a single element, we will be getting by default multiple elements. How to select a single element out of it, that I'll show. Okay, so card. Okay, so I'll log it, so you'll get to know like what exactly gets when we try to access it. Okay, so let's go back over here and inspect. So you see HTML collection 4. So you get an array, right? So one is div card 4. Okay, so I guess these are the ones. Let's check if I can get some content or something. Web developing and this is the one. These are the ones. Okay, these are the cards that are getting accessed over here. So we are able to get an array, right? So now let's say I just want to select one of these cards and change the background color of it. So how I can be able to do that? So let cards. Okay, So let card1 is equal to cards at 0th location, first location. Okay, so I told you about arrays, right? How to access array elements. So since this is returning an array, so we this is returning an array into cards. So cards is an array, so cards 0th element I'm putting into card1. So card1, if I log it, let's go back and check. So you see you got your entire card logged over here. So this is your card. So it has web developing and all these things. Okay, so let's try to change some property of this one. So how we'll be able to do that? Simple. Card1 dot style dot let's say background color, ground color is equal to yellow. Okay, that's it. Now let's check. Okay, so now you see the color of this card has turned into yellow, right? So this is how we were able to access using class name. So we got multiple class name, okay, like multiple elements by class name. Out of that we selected one element, okay, and then we did some operations on that. Okay, so if you wish, you can do the same operations on multiple cards. Okay, so like you know how to loop over an array, right? Like I told you in the last session, how do we do that? So okay, if you like forgot, let's do it again. So for let I is equal to 0, I is less than cards dot length I plus plus. Okay, and here we'll simply um, uh, what we'll do is document um, cards at I, okay, dot style dot background color is equal to black, let's say dot jet blue. Okay, that's it. Okay, so now I'll comment this one. Okay, so let's see if it works or not. Okay, so you see all have become dodger blue in color. So how did this happen? Because we looped over each card. Okay, so entire cards was an array. So one by one, the card we took out and changed the background color of it. Okay, so I hope you understood of the difference, like how do we access using id and how do we access using class name. Okay, so now let's move ahead to the next thing. So that is how do we access using query selector. Okay, so there is another thing which is known as query selector. So document dot query selector. Okay, so dot query selector has dot like it will be nothing but your like class name. So if you have class name, so we had class name as card, right? So let's select it by this and let's try to log it. So like I'll directly log it instead of putting it into a this variable. I'm simply going to log it. So let's remove this console.log and just keep one for now. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we got div.card. Okay, so like what this does is like this will give you the first occurrence. So first occurrence of any element with the class dot card, like class card. Okay, so this would be the first one. Okay, so let's do one thing. So to test it, so what we'll do, dot style dot background color is equal to yellow. Okay, so let's check it. Okay, so you see the first occurrence of this card, any element with the class name card has turned the style background color into yellow. The background color has changed into yellow. So this is about query selector. Like query selector will select the element using the property. So if you have a class, so you can use dot, and if you have an id, you can use hash. So let's say hash, we were having that, right? My name. So let's try that, my name. Okay, dot style dot color. So earlier we were putting orange, right? Let's try red over here now. Okay, so let's try. So you see this has become red, right? So why? Because this has because this is later in the line, right? So it has overpowered this one. So it has selected the same ID, my name, because we have used the hash selector over here and style.color. So this is about the query selector. Okay. So similarly, query all is also there. So document dot query selector all. So like let's say we have multiple elements with the class name card, right? So we can put dot card. Okay, so dot, again we can change the style and other things we can do. So dot background color is equal to gray, let's say. Okay, so now this time all the cards should turn to gray. Okay, I think something didn't work over here. Let me check. Query selector all dot card dot style dot background color is equal to gray. So it's not able to access the dot card over here. Why? Let's check. Okay, so let's do one thing. Instead of directly changing, first let's see what is coming in this. So let's do one thing. Console.log, and we'll put this and remove this thing. Maybe I am missing something. Okay, so I'll save it. I'll go back and refresh. Okay, so you see node list is coming over here. Okay, so you are getting again, yeah. So this is coming in an array, right? So we need to like loop over it and not directly. So instead of this, what I'll do, let cards query is equal to this. Okay, and again I'll use the same loop, and we'll just replace it with cards query. Cards query, and make it gray. Okay, let's see. Okay, so now you see it worked, and all of them have become gray. Okay, so this was about how to select a different elements in your DOM using the different ways to select it. So one is to reiterate, one is get element by ID, another is get elements by class name, another is document dot query selector, another is document dot query selector all. Okay. There are more. So like there is document dot get elements by tag name, get elements by name, many things are there. Okay, so let's say get elements by name. So for this what you'll have to do, like you'll have to give property here, all like name property also. So let's say div this name is equal to something. Okay, so that property it will be able to access. Okay, so like this you can do nothing typical. I hope you got an understanding of how the selectors work. Okay, so like by name is there, then by tag name is there, all of these are there. So yeah. Okay, uh, so now let's move ahead and let's talk about events in JavaScript. Okay, so what are events? So event, like if you try to understand using simple English language, event is nothing but when something happens, right? When an event is triggered. So let's say you have multiple buttons on this web page. I'll refresh this web page, and also I didn't like to change the style, so I'll just comment out all this. All this was for explanation purposes only. So I'll comment out all this code. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so we have like multiple like buttons over here, right? Hire me, get cv, all these buttons. So then this send, all these things are there, right? So we want to do some action on clicking this. So let's say on clicking hire me, something should happen. So how we can do that? So let's begin working on that. So let's go back to our this. For that I'll explain you about events. So hire me button. So this was the button, right? So button class hire me. Okay, so one thing that you can do is like there is an on click event listener. Directly you can put it in the button. On click is equal to let's say you want to call the function, so hire me. So this is the function that you will need to call, like create. So I'll save it and I'll go to script.js and I'll create a function. So function is nothing but some piece of code that you need to execute for a particular event. So function hire me. So what I need to do is alert. Hey, I am available for work. Okay, fine. So this is what I want to do when that button is clicked. So now let's refresh this page and let's click on hire me. Okay, you see, as soon as I clicked, I got this alert, right? So how did this happen? Because I have put an event there, which is on click. So on click is an event. So it is telling when this particular button is clicked, call the function hire me. So what this function hire me is this, simply alert something. Okay. So instead of this, if you wish to, like, on clicking, you wish to do something, let's say, you want to like change the color of this rice atna to red. So along with alert, you wish to change the color. So what was the document dot get element by id? So this was the one, right? So I'll copy this and I'll paste it over here. So now two things will happen. You will get an alert also when you'll click this button, and this will change to orange. Let's see. Okay, so you see this has become orange, and you got an alert. So if I'll refresh the page, it will be initially black only, but when I'll click on hire me, it will change into orange, right? So this was about the on click event listener. Simple, nothing typical over here, right? So now let's we have talked about the on click. So similarly we have other events. So okay, another way to add this event listener. So let's say I want to add, instead of this on click, what I want to do is I'll remove this. Okay, so I want to make sure that I'll add a document dot add event listener. Okay, so click. So and also, like, I do not want to do it in on document. What I wish to do is, first of all, uh, um, I'll access that button. So the button's class was hire me style button. Okay, so what I'll do is, uh, let button is equal to document dot get elements by class name. Okay, and at 0th location, the first instance of this button, because I want the first instance of this button. Okay, hire me style button at 0th location. Um, so instead of document, I'll put on button dot add event listener. So what it will do, it will keep on checking, like, whenever this button is clicked. So do what? Execute a function. So function we have already written. So we can simply call hire me. Okay. So, but let me test one thing. Actually, it might be giving an error because again, it won't be able to access. So let's put all this inside document dot add event listener DOM content loaded. Okay, so I'll put everything inside. So until the content is loaded, please do not do anything. Okay, so okay, sorry, one mistake I made. So here I added this now. I do not need to call it. I need to just put it, like, which function needs to be called. Okay, so okay, so now as soon as I'll click on this, you see it works. Okay, so now you saw the difference. So there are two ways to like put the events. So either you could directly put on click over here, on click, right? Either you can do it like this. Otherwise, what you can do, you can access this element. So you access this element by using get elements by class name, and added an event listener to this particular button. So the event listener was click. When it is clicked, just click, call hire me. So instead of click, we have hover event also, I guess. I'm not sure, but let's check it. No, not hover. I guess it's on mouse over or something. uh, no, not on mouse over also. uh, Let me check add event listener. Uh, okay, let's go to web and check event listener for button HTML. Okay, so what events are there? Hmm, click is there. Uh, hmm, where can I found and complete list of DOM events? Okay, okay, click, track, focus, error, input, key press, key upload data. Mouse over is there. Okay, let's try mouse over. Okay, let's check it. Okay, you see. So this time I didn't click on it. I'll just bring my mouse over it. Okay, so as soon as I bring, it will do this. Okay. So this was about your the different kind of event listener that you have for a button or any element. It will work the same way. Okay. So now let's move ahead with we are done with the event listener for a button. So now let's quickly do it with for the input box. So we have an input box also over here, right? So if you scroll down over here, you see input email is there, right? So let's check where it is, input. Okay, so here, so on change or on so on change, so for a input we have on change. So function will be let's say log. I'll call that function as log. And okay, so let's go over here and quickly do one thing, function log. So I want to do is console.log, and I want to like get the value over here. So actually like it will be an event. So event dot target dot value. So this will give me all the values that I'm inputting over there. So let's check it quickly. So let's inspect, click on console, and let's start typing. Okay, so it isn't working. Let me see what I'm missing over here. Hmm, on change log, person event. Uh, mm, okay, event is not defined. 1 minute. Okay, seems I am using, okay, it should be event actually. Yeah, not E. Okay, so now let's refresh and try to access it. Okay, so we got the value, right? So whatever value we are writing, we are getting those values over here. So this is how we make use of on change event listener. Okay, so on change event listener, this. Okay, similarly, like there is an on key up. So on key up and on key down. Mm, so on key down, I want to like get the values. Okay, so we get the values as soon as we like type. Okay, so similarly there is another thing on key up. So as soon as it is pressed, we will get the values. Okay, so we are getting values, right? Okay, so so this was about the on change, on key up, and on key down event listeners. Okay, so similarly you can do it here also. So instead of like putting directly over here, you can access this. So how you can access it in this, let's say you just give it an id is equal to email input. Okay, simple. And here you give let email input is equal to document dot get element by id email input. Okay, right. So you can simply email input dot add event listener, and you can do on key up. So what you wish to do is um, log event. Okay, no, sorry, no need of this. Okay, fine. So let's try this. Let's comment this out and let's try it out here. Okay, so now you see it works exactly the same way. I added some extra things over here, it seems. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's remove this entirely. No, it isn't working, it seems. Let me see what is the issue. Nope, what a script. Add event listener on key up and log. I think this should be key up, not on key up. Let's try. Okay, so it works. Fine. So yeah, that was about the event listeners that we have for different things. Okay. So now you understood, right? Like how you can like make your web pages kind of dynamic and all, right? We have added some actions like when we click on something, then something is happening. When you are typing something, then something is happening, right? So this is how you interact with the DOM. Okay. So that was one thing. Now let's see what else is there. So click input change mouse over is done. Okay, so now let me quickly one more thing. So let's quickly create a live counter. Okay, so let's what I'll do is here only below send I'll just create a button. So send. Okay, so what I'll do is button uh, on click is equal to um, let's say increment. Okay, so this particular function I'll be calling. Okay, and I'll call it counter. Okay, fine. So this is this. So now let's I also like I'll give it id is equal to counter. So what I want to do is so function. What was the function I gave over here? Increment, right? Function increment. So what I want to do is um, I want to I'll take a variable let I is equal to 0. Okay, so what I'll do is I plus plus. Okay, simple, and document dot get element by id counter dot inner text is equal to I. Okay, so this is what I am thinking to do. So let's see if it works or not. So we have this counter. Okay, so 1 2 3 4. Okay, so you see we have created a live counter. Okay, so how it is working, we simply have this counter, and when we are clicking on it, what is happening, if you try to like pay attention to this code, what is happening over here, on click increment function is getting called. Okay, increment function, what is that increment function doing? It is just increasing the value of this I is equal to 0, which we have initialized at the starting, and is incrementing it by 1 every time we click it. Okay, and apart from incrementing, it is also adding this value to the inner text of this counter. So inner text would be what, so if you see in the code, so inner text was counter, right? So it is replacing it by I. Okay, so instead of this, if you want counter plus I. Okay, so like this also you can keep it. So now it will be counter 1, counter 2, like this. See, counter 1, counter 2, counter 3. Okay, so like this it will, the inner text will keep on changing. Okay, on clicking it, on clicking it. Okay, so similarly, if you don't want on clicking, you can change the event over here. You can make it on mouse over, or like all those things were there, right? So you can do that. Okay, so I hope this is clear. So the next thing that comes in is your local storage. So let's say you want to store something in the local storage. So local storage is the browser's storage that is provided to you. So if you go to inspect and click on this and go to application, so here you will be able to see local storage. Okay, so this is your local storage. So let's say I just want to add something. When I click on this button, I want to fill in something to the local storage as well. So local storage dot set item. So set item counter, and the value I wish to set it to I. So now what will happen, every time the counter will be incremented, the value will be set over here. So let's click on it. So you see counter value 1 has been there. Again I click counter 2, counter 3, counter 4, counter 5. Okay, so now the thing is, like when I'll refresh the page, so you see this counter has come back over here, but here in the local storage, like I'll close it and I'll open it again, and I'll go to the applications tab. See, the counter is still 5. So this local storage persists. Okay, it won't go away. Okay, so this is about the local storage. So now, like let's say you want that as soon as your DOM content loaded, you want to show the initial count value. So what you can do is, in this only you can write uh, let count value is equal to local storage, sorry, dot get item. So earlier it was set item, right? So what is the variable name? Count. What is the key name? It was counter, right? If you check over here, go to application, it was counter, right? Key is counter, so you'll get it using counter. Okay, so what I want to do is document dot get element by id counter dot inner text. Instead of I'll put it to count value. Okay, so now like when you'll refresh the page also, it will be the one which you like left it at the last. So counter 5, 1 2 3 4, like this. Okay, so now if you'll refresh, it will stay at 2, because now this has been stored in the local storage. If you start, it will start again from 1, because we have like written taken I is equal to 0 here. So instead of this, we can also put local storage dot get item counter. Okay, so now what will happen is it will start from here only. If I'll refresh, it's 5, right? It should go to 6 7 8 9. Okay, I'll refresh 10 11 12. I'll refresh, this counter 12 will stay. So it's a kind of your web page counter, like how many people have visited your web page. Okay, so this was about it about your session on how to interact with the DOM elements, and about the events that we have in DOM, and how to make your website a little bit interactive. So I hope I was able to make the things clear to you guys. So please try. So I would like to give you a small challenge. So that would be, using local storage, you need to create a to-do list. Okay, so it will add items, remove items. Okay, that's it. These two things you need to enable in your to-do list. Okay, so just try to create this. So this is your assignment for this particular session. Okay, fine. So I hope you enjoyed the session and you liked it. So please try and practice it, and let me know for any doubts in the comment section. So thank you so much, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you, and bye bye. Have a nice day.